Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here this Tuesday morning edition. We have baseball today, Glenn. What's going to transpire there in Milwaukee?
Well, I kind of got things riled up last night, Eric, when I said, I'm feeling like 4th of July today. See, I got my hat. Well, I got my San Francisco. And I think there'll be fireworks after this series. I think we're winning 2 out of 3. People in the chat didn't agree with me on our show, Giant Sports Talk Live last. I don't even think you agreed with me. This guy never agrees with me. We'll see who's Eric. I think they're winning 2 out of 3. You think they lose 2 out of 3. Big pitching matchup, though, tonight, right out of the gate. Need tonight's because it gets youth after that, right?
Yeah, Webb will give you what Webb will give you. He'll keep you in the game. But
he's not 11-8 for no reason.
Correct. But with Birdsong and Harrison, you just don't know what you're going to get. We'll see. Again, this isn't the Seattle Mariners where they didn't hit very well. This is the Milwaukee Brewers. That's a much better hitting club. So we'll see how it transpires tonight in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but the thing is, this Tobias Myers, the right-hander, goes for Milwaukee. He's 6-5. The game at American Family Field. He has an ERA of 2.87, Eric. So that's a number that's competitive, to say the least.
Very.
He can shut down a weak hitting team. So we'll see what happens. Yep. See hopefully the Bats will wake up after that series in Seattle. Now they lost the series in Seattle, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to live with that. Disappointing. They blew it, to be quite honest. And that's exactly what they did. They could have won that series. They were winning 5-1 in the 8th inning on Friday night, Eric. Guys were coming into our show, Giant Sports Talk Live, going, what are you guys talking about? We won. You're like,
nope. Didn't happen.
Yeah, you shouldn't go for a P in the 9th inning because all hell broke loose and we lost that game. So we should have won the series. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Story of this organization, Eric. It's going to be a long September. But anyway, September's not here yet. We're playing Milwaukee tonight. 500 Ball Club, 66-66. 75-55 Milwaukee Brewers. We'll take a look at the standings, see how they're faring out in their race. But Webb and Myers go tonight in Milwaukee. Going to be a busy day, though, in Major League Baseball, Eric. What else we got going on around Major League Baseball on this Tuesday? I'm not used to having a Monday off, Eric. Monday night.
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah, a little bit weird, wasn't it? A little bit weird. All afternoon games. Look at this. The first one, Los Angeles at Detroit. Johnny Cueto again. This is kind of a nothing game. I mean, Johnny Cueto versus Brent Herter. It starts 3:40 p.m. in the afternoon here Pacific. It's a game that really doesn't matter.
Yeah. We've got the Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh Pirates going at it tomorrow. This Justin Steele, he's a bit of a wild card. He's 4-5. Seems like every time I turn on the TV and I catch his action, nothing good's happening, Eric. So he's got a 3.07 ERA up against Jared Jones of the Pirates. Jared Jones is coming back from injury, too. He got off to a hell of a start and has been derailed by the injury. So that one's at PMC Park today. Cubs are another 500, exact same record, 500 club, 66 and 66.
Tied with the Giants.
Yes. So that wild card, when we look at it in a minute, it's going to show some telling tales of clubs that are going in different directions, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chicago had a big night the other night, too. How about that? 18 runs.
18 runs,
all right.
My God.
Yeah. Houston playing against Philadelphia should be a good matchup. It'll be on TBS. Got Justin Verlander going for the Astros, going up against Aaron Nola for the Phillies. Should be a good game in Philadelphia.
I've said it before. Kansas City at Cleveland. Seems like every time I turn around, Michael Lorenzen's pitching in Kansas City, or at least for the Royals. Tonight they're going to be on the road. It's not in Kansas City. It's in Cleveland, the Tribe. I still call them the Tribe. Am I guilty of that?
Yeah.
The Guardians. They go with Gavin Williams, Cleveland, Kansas City. And that one goes at 3:40 Bay Area time this afternoon. Late afternoon game in Cleveland.
Yeah, and in Cincinnati, you got the A's going up against the Reds. You got Mitch Spence, going up against undecided. Cincinnati hasn't decided who they're going to throw. We'll see how that pans out. Looks like Cincinnati's fallen by the wayside as far as wild cards standing, but you never know again, it's baseball. Until you're mathematically eliminated, you still got a shot. Maybe they got a run in them, maybe they don't, but you got the A's. You can't automatically say it's a win going against the A's. A's swing the bats, man. So we'll see how that pans out there in Cincinnati.
You are right, Eric. And Rooker the other night hit his 30th home run of the season. Yep. So they got some bats. They're on the road in Cincinnati. Now, New York, man, how many at-bats before our old pal Judge launches one out of the courtroom today? They're in Washington. He likes hitting there, it seems. Now, we didn't have a home run yesterday, Eric, but if you were watching Giant Sports Talk Live last night, we broke down his game. He went over the wall in center field and he doesn't just hit him out, he takes him back, and he did that last night. So this guy is worth the price of admission. And today in Washington, you get a ticket for $14. Go see him play. Yankees in Washington. Garrett Cole's going to be tough up against Patrick Corbin. Corbin's not having a good year, but back in the heyday, those two great pitchers are. Eric?
Yes, absolutely. In Boston, you got the Toronto Blue Jays. They won both games. I believe they won the suspended game that they finished, and then they won the regular game that they had later on in the afternoon. Toronto beat Boston. This afternoon, you're going to have Yariel Rodriguez, this afternoon Pacific time, that is, against Cooper Criswell. Should be a decent matchup. Again, Toronto's really not in the wild card, but Boston's still trying to hold on to a wild card position. We'll see if they're able to get into it.
Atlanta, they've got 70 wins. They hold down that final wild card spot, Eric. They're doing it with smoke and mirrors because this has been an injury-riddled team. I mentioned yesterday that they had some players who were hitting the ball hard. They find themselves at 70 and 60 and find themselves in the final wild card spot, Eric. So you never know what to expect with this Atlantic Brave team. It's the guys, the unsung heroes of the club, like Whit Merrifield last night went 5 for 5. And Olsen, he went 3 for 5 and had 5 RBIs. They had a big night last night. They'll try to do it all over again today. Schellenbach and Richardson, the pitching matchup at 4:40.
And in St. Louis, you got the Padres facing off against the Cardinals. You got Dylan Cease versus Miles Mikolas. Should be a good game. St. Louis is in the thick of it, just behind the Giants. So we'll see what happens there in St. Louis. Manny Machado had a big game yesterday. Dylan Cease, excellent pitcher for the Padres. So they're still in their winning ways. We'll see how that transpires in St. Louis.
And if you are a fan of the Chicago White Sox, man, I have sympathy for you. Think the Giant fans are having a tough year? Chicago only has 31 wins this year, Eric. The White Sox have lost 101 games. If there's any bright spot at all, it's your pitcher. Garrett Crochet is back on the hill today, hosting Texas with Andrew Haney.
And Miami Marlins versus Colorado Rockies. Rodri Munoz versus Cal Quantrill. All right, next one.
You always get to pull one of those out of your butt every day. New York, they're in Arizona. There's a club that, boy, I'll tell you, it seems like they're down. They jump back up. They're down. Right now, they're 2.5 out in the wild card race behind Atlanta. And the Mets will try to pick up a win with former Giant Chaminade on the hill up against Eduardo Rodriguez. The game in Arizona at 6:40 tonight on Giant Sports Talk Live. You can bet we'll be keeping an eye on the scores, including that one. Should be a wrap once we get to the air.
And that's going to be a good game. The Mets versus the Diamondbacks. Good game. Good game. Chaminade is having a fantastic year. That's going to be a fun game to watch. In Seattle was brought out the big bats yesterday. Knocked out a couple of home runs. Rosarena had a home run, but you got the Tampa Bay Rays going against the Seattle Mariners. They're trying to stay in the thick of it if they can. We'll see. There's still plenty of baseball left. Maybe Seattle can make a run. They got some great pitching. They just have to have those bats wake up, and we'll see what happens.
Seattle with a 5-1 victory last night. Now, Baltimore's in LA to wrap things up tonight. That one, I believe, will still be in progress when we go live for Giant Sports Talk Live at 8 p.m. on Northern Lights Entertainment production with the Dodgers hosting the Orioles. Cole Irving will take the hill. He'll wave to mom. It's on ESPN+. And Eric, let's see. Who's pitching for LA?
Flaherty.
He got it. Paul Irving and Jack Flaherty tonight. Baltimore is in L.A. We mentioned a bit earlier, right off the top of the show. We'll do it again in a couple of minutes before we sign off. But the Giants open up a 3-game series tonight in Milwaukee. We'll be talking about that tonight on Sports Talk Live. Let's take a look at the standings, Eric. The wild card. It's we're heading to September, buddy.
Yes, we are. Arizona Diamondbacks still holding on to that number 1 wild card. San Diego Padres, the number 2. Atlanta Braves, they're solidifying that 3 spot. They got a nice little lead. They're 3 games above, I should say, the Mets are 3 games behind that 3rd wild card spot in Atlanta Braves. The Giants and the Cubs, look at that. They're tied, both at 500, both 5.5 games out of that 3rd wild card. St. Louis Cardinals, not that far behind as well. They're only about a half a game off of those 2 teams. So you still got a few teams that are in the hunt there.
You got to look
what teams make the moves and which ones don't.
Look at the Giants there, Eric. Now, people will look and say, wow, 66 wins, and the Mets have 68 wins. But you got to look at the loss column as well, factor that in. Now, look at the Braves. My gosh, we got 66 wins. They've got 71. Now, 5 more wins. That's pretty tangible in those standings. And look at, I don't even want to talk about San Diego. My God, 75 wins, 9 more wins than the San Francisco Giants. Terrible. We just I've given up. There's no hope.
You've thrown in a towel, right?
Throwing in the towel. But I'm going to watch some baseball tonight. I got fresh briquettes. They have the barbecue on. I'm feeling like it's 4th of July. I broke my hat out again because I'm going swimming this morning. And look, I even have my 4th of July. Look, can you see my shirt, Eric? Look at that.
Yeah, it looks good.
SF, baby. San Francisco, we're going to win 2 out of 3, baby. Woo!
I don't see it, man. I don't see it. But, hey.
I'll see you tonight at 8.
I'll see you tonight at 8, and I'll see the rest of you guys at 8 o'clock tonight after the first game of Giants versus the Brewers.
On Giants Sports Talk Live.
Yes. See ya.
Bye, Mom.